Today we're working on an older Honda. It's a 98 Honda Civic. We're going to be replacing the hood cable. The owner of the vehicle pulled the handle and wound up with this piece in their hand and no way to open up the hood. Not really a big problem. It takes a little bit of ingenuity to get through it. Basically, you're just going to tie a string on the end of the hood cable and you're going to remove it and pull it through, but I'll show you the video how to do that. Alright, and if you just follow my directions, even a novice or somebody who hasn't done this before will be able to do this job themselves. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like my video, give me the thumbs up. Alright, let's get underneath here and get started on this job. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these clips in the front right here that I told you about. You just get in here with the screwdriver underneath the clip, and you pry them up, and you just take them right out like this. Try not to break them because you're going to need to reuse these again. As the cars get older, they get brittle, so be careful. Down underneath the bottom over here, there's a couple of screws underneath the bottom that we need to take out so we can remove this grill here. You'll have to really feel around for them. You can't see them, but if you feel around, you'll find them. And then once you've got all your screws out, to show you, I'm going to take the clip out and I'm going to show you what's in here. There's a little clip on the end, like this, that you'll need to pry off that holds this in place. I'll show you on this one here. Right down inside here. You see this little clip right here? You just have to pry that off, and then we'll get the grill right out. Then I'll show you that. Okay, you get behind it with a screwdriver and just pry it out. Don't lose it because you're going to need to put it back. Next thing we're going to do then is we're going to remove this latch assembly here. The way you do that is you just get in here with a small ratchet. There's 3 10mm screws. You can just screw them out. Don't lose them because we're going to need to reuse these again when we put it back together. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come, this is now loose obviously. Then what we're going to do is these little clips up on top here. You squeeze these clips in with a pair of pliers. Don't break them because you need to use them again. Squeeze them together and then they pull right out. Same thing with the other clips up underneath here. Squeeze this together. Take it out. And then you're going to come underneath here and take all of these little clips out. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of this housing right here. And the way you do that, it's just a little clip in here. You just pry that clip out from here. And then you get the screwdriver. And you just pry it out. And then you take the little ball and you just slide it past the latch right here. Obviously we're going to grease this up before we put it back together, lubricate it so it slides a little bit better, because most likely the reason he broke his cable is because it was tight to release. Right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, before we go any further, we're going to take the rest of those clips out. Again, take these clips off because we're going to need to reuse them again. Don't lose them. inside that fender, and we're going to take the wheel well apart. I'll show you that. We're going to remove these screws down inside here, this, and we're going to open this section here of the fender up. So let me take this out here, take these screws out, and then we'll come right back. Okay, once we have the inside fender skirt dropped down, you can see where the cable comes up inside here, and it runs up along the top, and then up into the front area over in here. Right in here. What we're going to need to do is we're going to have to pry these clips out right here. You don't want to break them if you don't. I mean, you want to be real careful. You don't want to break them because you're going to have to reuse them. So we're going to get in here with a pair of needle nose pliers and we're going to pry them out and take them out, and that way we can reuse them. And we're going to do the same thing on the other one up in here. Get underneath here, just pull a little bit so you can get underneath right there, and you just pry it out without breaking it. See? Alright, take it off because we're going to reuse it. Now before you go any further, what I normally do is go up in the front of the car again. On the end of the cable here, you're going to need to fish it through the body of the car. So what I always do is take it out as far as possibly can, which we did through here. Take a wire and tie a wire onto this piece right here, because we're going to need to pull it back through again. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come inside the vehicle and we're going to remove this cover right here so we can gain access to it. There's a little clip inside here that we need to pry out. Alright, pull it out, and we're going to put that off to the side. You're going to find another one up underneath here. Same thing. This one is you unscrew it by hand. It goes in like this here. You take that one out, and then we're just going to take this cover off of here. Comes right out, and that gives us access to that rest of the cable here. There's two 10mm screws underneath here. We're going to take both of those screws out. And we need to get this cable out of the car. So we're just going to pull it very slightly, and we're going to go up in the front and we're going to feed it through at the same time. All right, let me go up front and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, what I'm going to do I'm going to feed the cable through here while reaching in the wheel well. Pulling it through the wheel well, like that. And we have our wire tied onto the end of it. Alright, there's our wire, and we're going to pull it back through. And now we have the wire pulled out on this side over here, and now we're going to feed it through the body of the car. We're going to pull it from the inside through. Okay, I just want to show you this here. There's a little tiny grommet that goes through here, and that grommet, you have to rip it out with a pair of pliers and just cut it off because we're not going to be reusing it. The new cable comes with one on it already, so you can just cut this off and remove it, because we don't need it any longer. And take off this piece here. We'll grab a razor blade. I'm going to cut that off so it doesn't obstruct anything when it goes through there. And then we're going to go inside the car and we're going to pull the cable through here at the same time. So let's go back inside the car now after I cut this off, and we'll continue. Okay, and we're back inside the car now. And now we're just going to take this cable and pull it through. And you'll notice that the wire that I tied on there is going to come through with it. Alright. Now if it feels a little bit tight, don't yank it and rip it out of there, because you're going to pull your wire off. Because that's what it was. It was actually stuck up underneath the on the front there. So alright, so now we got our cable out. We're going to tie our new cable on, and we're going to snake it through. The other side, next thing we're going to do is we're going to reattach our hood release cable. Okay, and we're going to reattach our housing that we took the cover off. It just snaps right back into these little clips here. Snap right back in over here. Alright. We're going to push our pin back in and lock it in place. Same thing with the one up in the front here. Alright. So here we're done. Let's go back up in the front. And then after we have the cable pulled through here, we're going to get a pair of pliers, and we're just going to pull this rubber grommet right here through so that it seals where it's supposed to be. I'm going to do that with a pair of pliers. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to reinstall those clips up in here that we previously took out, and then we're going to put this fender back together here. Okay, that's what the grommet's supposed to look like when it's pulled through. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these clips back on here that we previously took off. They just fit on here like that, and then we're going to put it back up underneath there where it previously came out of. Now you may be tempted to leave these out, but don't. They're needed to hold the cable so it doesn't move. Same thing here. Put it on like this, and then we'll put it back in right where it came out, like that. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to reattach our wheel well that we previously took off, and then we'll go back up in the front. We got our cable through everywhere we need to. We can remove this wire that we previously put on to snake everything through, and then we're going to put the cable back through the area that it came out of. Remember this ball has to go in here like this, like that, and then this piece snaps right in here. Make sure it goes in all the way. And you'll hear it snap in place. All right, now we're going to put this back on, but before we do that, we're going to put that cable ties back on the way they were. Everything will start by hand before we use a ratchet. Just catch them loosely for now, and we'll put the other bolts in. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to reconnect that clip underneath the bottom right here that we previously took out. What I always do before I put the grill back in is make sure that everything is okay, because if you need to adjust this latch, you're going to have to take the grill back off. So let's close it down and see how it lines up. Everything looks good. Everything lines up just the way it's supposed to. The hood is closed all the way down where it was. Let's pop it back up. Let's put that grill in and get this job out the door. We attach our grill where we previously took it out from. Remember these clips, you got to put back inside here. I always put these on first. In there. Same thing on the other side right here. Just pull this out a little bit, put it in place. Snap it in place. And the last thing we're going to do is just push it back in, put our pins back in here, and our screws in through the bottom, and we'll be all set. put these push pins that we previously took out. And push them in, lock them in place. Push the center back in and locks it in. Same thing. That's all locked up here. Next thing I'm going to do is put the 4 screws in the bottom underneath there. I'm not going to bore you with that because I got to feel around to get those in place. But that's it. Alright, so I bet you when you first started you probably thought, oh jeez, this is going to be a real pain in the rear end. But if you follow my directions and do it step by step, especially use your wire or string to pull it back through. Without this, you're going to have a little bit of an issue trying to get it through there. When you use this, it makes it a lot easier. Alright, so any questions, any comments, you need any advice, drop me a line. Be more than happy to talk to you about anything. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. See you on the next one.